Calc, this lesson is going to be dealing with evaluating using the unit circle. Okay, so we're going to try to use our knowledge of the unit circle to find the exact value, okay, and we're going to try to do it without looking. All right, so what I highly suggest is making little doodles. Okay, so for the first one, where is the sine of 30? Okay, 30 degrees is this low one right here. When it says sine, that's the second number. Try to think of the second number we write on the unit circle. Okay, and the answer would be 1/2. All right, cosine of 30, we're in that same place. Okay, so it's not 45, it's not 90, it's 30 degrees. Okay, cosine is the x value, and the first value that I write on the unit circle is the ugly one, radical 3 over 2. Okay, now how about tangent of 30? How about tangent? Tangent is sine over cosine. Okay, so if I write both of those values down here, radical 3 over 2 comma 1/2, and I did the sine over the cosine, okay, I know that those 2's are going to cancel. So really, we're going to have 1 over radical 3, okay, but we don't write 1 over radical 3. We're going to rationalize and write radical 3 over 3. Okay, I think I've showed you the 2 trick before. If we do sine over cosine, okay, a denominator of 2 cancels with a denominator of 2, and then you just have 1 over radical 3, which we rationalized. Okay, let's take a look at sine of pi over 4. Try to think of where pi over 4 is, okay, and that's going right down the middle of quadrant 1, and I'm trying to think of the 2 values that are there. Okay, these values are the same, radical 2 over 2, radical 2 over 2. When I say sine, you say the y value, radical 2 over 2. Okay, cosine of pi over 4, that's the x value. That's going to be radical 2 over 2. Oh, now my favorite, tangent, is the sine divided by the cosine. Same divided by same makes positive 1. Okay, tangent for pi over 4, okay, that's my favorite one. Tangent for 30 and 60, that gets a little trickier. Okay, now let's do some angles that are all over the place. All right, try to imagine where 3 pi over 4 is. 3 pi over 4, okay? So I'm thinking of 4 over 4. 3 pi over 4 goes right down the middle here. Okay, that's a pi over 4 family. So his values are radical 2 over 2, radical 2 over 2. Except when you're in quadrant 2, okay, they're negative and then positive. So the sine would be the y value, and that's radical 2 over 2. All right, where is 225? 225 is past 180. That's the middle. That's the 45-degree angle down here in quadrant 3. Okay, the 45 degree, or the pi over 4 family, definitely has radical 2 over 2. But when you're in quadrant 3, it's going to be a negative for cosine. Okay. And the last one, okay, where is 13 pi over 4? We have to find the right place. I know it's in the pi over 4 family. Okay, 4 out of 4, 8, 12, one more. Oh, we're down here in quadrant 3 again. Quadrant 3, okay. The sine and the cosine are both radical 2 over 2. In quadrant 3, it goes negative, negative, so this value is also negative. Okay, you can use your Algebra 1 skills to help you with the positives and negatives. Okay, remember when we went over this? In quadrant 1, it goes positive, positive. In quadrant 2, negative, positive. Quadrant 3 is negative, negative. And quadrant 4 is positive, negative. Okay, this would be the cosine value and then the sine value. Now, what about the tangent? Okay, if I do sine divided by cosine, tangent would be positive. Tangent here is negative. In quadrant 3, tangent becomes positive again because they're both negative, and here it's negative. Okay, and then I think I taught you that little trick all students take calculus. what that means is all of them are positive. Okay, here it's only the sine that's positive. Here it's only the tangent that's positive, and here it's only the cosine that's positive. That little trick, okay, or just your Algebra 1 skills from the coordinate plane. All right, let's keep going. Where is pi over 4? Okay, the pi over 4 family are in the middles. I'm going to swing down negatively. I'm right here in quadrant 4. Okay, I know that the pi over 4 family is same. It's radical 2 over 2, radical 2 over 2. Which one is negative in quadrant 4? That's right, the sine value is negative. Okay, and to do tangent, I'm going to do sine divided by cosine. Same divided by same. This is going to come out to be negative 1. Okay, where is negative 135? Okay, I'm going to swing down. 135 is the middle. It's the pi over 4 family in quadrant 3. Okay, pi over 4 family has radical 2 over 2 and radical 2 over 2. Okay, and the cosine for quadrant 3, is that positive or negative? It's going to be negative, radical 2 over 2. All right, where is 7 pi? Okay, hi pi, there's 1 pi, there's 2 pi, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pi. 7 pi is over there in the same place as regular pi. I'm going to use my algebra skills from like a piece of graph paper. Okay, this point is negative 1, comma 0. Okay, but when I say cosine, you think about which value? The x value. So the cosine here is negative 1. Okay, let's keep going. Let's talk about pi over 2. Okay, 3 pi over 2. Okay, I know where that is. That's right down here. Okay, that's a quadrantal. So we're going to use our algebra skills from a piece of graph paper. A point that's down there would be 0, negative 1. Okay, and the tangent is the sine over the cosine. Negative 1 divided by 0, what does that make? It makes undefined. Okay. Cosine of 150. Okay, so first of all, where is 150? 150 is not quite 180, it's 30 degrees off, so it's in the pi over 6 family right here. Okay, he's got the same coordinates as the pi over 6 family over here. So if you can remember how to write these numbers, we're just going to copy radical 3 over 2, comma 1/2, and the cosine in quadrant 2, is that positive or negative? That's going to be negative radical 3 over 2. All right, and finally 315. Okay, which quadrant is that going to be in? That's right, it's going to be down here in quadrant 4. Okay, when it ends in a 5, it's the 45 degree family, or the pi over 4 family. And what is the sine? What is the sine, the y value down there? Negative radical 2 over 2. Okay, I want you to see if you can kind of keep going with some of these. Okay, maybe we'll start doing them without doodles and just try to imagine where they are. Okay, so when I say pi, we're thinking to the left, tangent of pi, so think over here. We've got a cosine and a sine. This is negative 1 comma 0. What's the tangent? Sine over cosine. Oh, when it's 0 divided by 1, what does that make? That makes a 0. All right, sine of 7 pi over 4. Okay, 7 pi over 4 is, hopefully you know this quickly, down here in quadrant 4. Okay, pi over 4 family. I know the answer is going to be radical 2 over 2 for sine. Is it positive or negative? It's going to be negative, right? Doesn't it go positive, negative for quadrant 4? Okay, 7 pi over 6. Okay, so where is 7 pi over 6? It's not 6 over 6, it's a little bit more. Okay, the pi over 6 family, whatever you write down first, our first number on the unit circle is going to be the first one we write here. So it's the ugly one, radical 3 over 2 comma 1/2. Okay, but in quadrant 3, they are both negative. Okay, and now I have to think about tangent. Tangent is sine over cosine. All right, now I know that those 2's are going to cancel, so let's not even worry about them. And I know the negatives are going to cancel. So we have 1 over radical 3, but we're going to write that as radical 3 over 3. Everything about the pi over 6 family is pretty ugly, isn't it? All right, let's do some reciprocal functions, okay? Let's think about where 30 degrees is. 30 degrees is just a little bit up, okay? When I say secant, which trig function is that the reciprocal of? Yeah, cosine, okay? So I really need this first value right here. The first value on the unit circle is radical 3 over 2, okay? But I have to do the secant, so I need to reciprocate that. 2 over radical 3. Oh, we can't leave it like that. What do we multiply top and bottom by? That's right, we have to multiply by radical 3 over radical 3. So our answer is 2 radical 3 over 3. Can I cancel a radical 3 with a regular 3? No, you just leave it like that. All right, let's talk about 3 pi over 4. 3 pi over 4, that's the pi over 4 family. Okay, which trig function does cosecant go with? It goes with the sine. Okay, so I need the second value. For the pi over 4 family, that's radical 2 over 2. Okay, but I need to reciprocate that. So I'm going to write 2 divided by radical 2. Let's go ahead and rationalize this one. I'm going to multiply top and bottom by radical 2. That gives us 2 radical 2, and then that's a plain 2, which cancels to just a radical 2. Cotangent of pi. All right, pi is over here. Okay, I know where pi is. The value over here is negative 1 comma 0. Okay, and cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent. So it's not sine over cosine. Cotangent is cosine over sine. Okay, so we've got negative 1 divided by 0, and that makes undefined. Okay, we got a couple more. I hope going through these with you and showing you the process is helping you get better at evaluating. 2 pi over 3. Okay, the pi over 3 family. 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3. Okay, so it's up here. It's really tall. He has values 1/2 comma radical 3 over 2. Okay, we're going to put a negative on the cosine. When it says cosecant, I need to take the reciprocal of the sine. So that's going to be 2 over radical 3. Oh, let's go ahead and reciprocate that. Rationalize that. And that's going to make 2 radical 3 over 3. Okay, we've got a negative. Okay, so we're going to swing down past 90, 30 more degrees. Okay, so that's right here. That's in the pi over 3 family. Okay, that one is 1/2 radical 3 over 2. Which one gets negative in quadrant 3? Yeah, they're both negative, right? Negative, negative. Okay, now how do I do cotangent? It's not sine over cosine. It's going to be cosine over sine, like we did over here. So the cosine over sine, I know the 2's cancel, so let's skip that step. And then we have 1 over radical 3. 1 over radical 3, but how do we write that? Radical 3 over 3. Rationalized, of course. Okay, and we got the last one. We have to figure out where 5 pi over 2 is. Okay, so let's talk about the pi over 2 families. 1 out of 2, 2 out of 2, 3 out of 2, 4 out of 2, 5 pi over 2 is due north. Okay, what is the point due north? Yeah, 0, comma 1. Cotangent is cosine over sine. Cosine over sine, and that makes us 0. Great job, pre-calc.